Okay, we're now at the Set Snapping Options box in our flowchart. Now the Snapping Options dialog box is where we set our digitizing environment. Snapping options exist so we do not get maps like this one here. The snapping options tell QuantumGIS how to go about joining something that you're digitizing with something that already exists in your map. So we don't want gaps between adjoining polygons, and we don't want slivers or overlapping polygons either. Gaps, slivers, and other digitizing errors mean that geographical queries on our completed map are going to be unreliable. We want our maps so that our polygons join each other exactly. Many digitizing problems can be avoided if the snapping options are set up correctly, and that is what we are going to do now. You should have both the land use interpretation and land use interpretation clip region maps open. First, we need to make the land use interpretation map editable. Then, from the settings menu, from the drop-down list, choose snapping options, and the snapping options dialog will appear. Now let's follow the numbered items in the text. Item 1. Choose the advanced snapping mode from the drop-down menu and you will see our two map layers. Air photos and scans will not show in this dialog because they are not vector files. Item 2. Toggle the checkbox to enable the options for a map layer. Item 3, and in this case what we're saying is that the snapping options are enabled for the land use interpretation map, and this is the blank map that we just created. In item 4, the mode option allows us to snap, i.e. join, to a vertex, a segment, or both. Choose vertex and segment. Now a vertex is a click point where a line that you're digitizing changes direction. A vertex is also called a node. In other words, it's a mouse click. Okay. A segment is the line between the two nodes. So the line between the two mouse clicks. So click, click creates a segment. So if we were digitizing around a watercourse, for example, we'd be going click, 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 click to follow the shape of the watercourse. Each mouse click creates a vertex. Now, the lines between each of those clicks are called segments. We are going to be snapping to both the vertex, i.e. the mouse click, and the segment, which is the line between the two mouse clicks. Item 5 and item 6 refer to both the tolerance and the units of tolerance. This is saying that if you digitize a vertex, i.e. a mouse click, it will automatically move so that it snaps to any vertex or segment that is 5 or less pixels away from it. That way, the edges of any polygon you digitize will overlap the edges of an adjoining polygon exactly. Now, if we were to choose map units instead of pixels, we would be telling QuantumGIS to snap to any vertex or segment that is 5 or less meters away, because the map units for this coordinate system are meters. Item 7, the Avoid Intersections option. Well, this allows you to avoid overlapping polygons. If you were to check this box when you digitize a node that's within the 5 pixel tolerance, adjoining polygons will automatically adjoin each other. And finally, we need to enable topological editing. This is especially for ensuring common boundaries when you are digitizing polygons. Now, before we finish, I want to talk to you about something very tricky that can happen in this snapping options dialog box. You can enable and disable these options for various layers so that a polygon that you digitize, for example in the land use interpretation map, would snap to a polygon in a different map, such as the cadastre map. So that would, for example, allow you to make the land use interpretation map compatible with the cadastral map. So if you feel confident enough, I'd really like you to experiment with the options in this dialog when you start actually digitizing in just a little while actually. Now, if later on when you're digitizing, you keep on getting unexplained digitizing errors, then more than likely you have not set your snapping options to be identical to the example in the text. Okay, that's really important. So if you get digitizing problems later on, check this options box. Okay, so all we need to do now in item 9 is to click the OK button and enable all those options, and we're done with setting up our digitizing environment. I will see you in the next video.